Hi there, my name is Suze and I work with women to help them find emotional fulfillment and satisfaction in their lives. Happy Saturday, happy weekend. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you all have some happy, uplifting, fulfilling plans for the weekend. It is Saturday, so it is my astrological forecast day. I have two things I want to talk about astrologically today, and one of them I may develop this conversation further in next Saturday's video, so stay tuned for that if you like this video. Two big things happening, and always I want to preface this with my intention on these astrological update videos is for self-compassion, self-acceptance, and self-empowerment. Knowing outside of yourself what is happening, what energies are available for me to latch onto and to ride the wave, to empower myself, to make myself more expansive and conscious and fully awake, aware, and authentic. What can I grab onto and ride that wave and really juice it for what it has to offer to me, but also to understand through the eyes of love, self-acceptance, and compassion, understand that if there's something that's coming up that's challenging me, why it's here, and what's the potential for me to, how can I move through this to, again, on the other side, have a breakthrough, have a greater sense of self, a more empowered view of self, and be able to show up on the other end of this thing in a more authentic, empowered, divine, feminine kind of way. So all of that being said, there are two things happening astrologically that I want to touch on. The first being Venus in retrograde, but then also Lionsgate portal on 8/8. So obviously we have a little bit of time, but as we get closer to the 8/8 portal, both of these energies together are they could potentially create some interesting dynamics in our love relationships. Particularly if you are someone who identifies with being on a divine counterpart path, a twin flame dynamic, or some other soul level, soulmate, deep soul contract level relationship connection dynamic. These are going to really be highlighted for you. I just saw 222 on my timer. That is my validation for that. So first of all, we do have Venus in retrograde. What does that mean? Venus, I think we all can basically associate it with love. Most people understand Venus is the planet of love and feminine and all of those things. But Venus is also about value and worth, self-worth, or even money. All of the worth and value things along with love and partnerships and relationships. Because we know, if you listen to me for any length of time on my channel, you understand that feminine energy is completely geared towards the relational aspect. Masculine energy is here for something else entirely, and that's not the conversation for today. Sometimes it is, today it is not. Venus is entirely that feminine aspect, the feminine love, connection, relationships, worthiness, and value. So in that, with it being retrograde, there is a really big opportunity here for things to be coming to the surface in our love relationships, in our love dynamics, in our love lives. Many things that could come to the surface of what we need to learn, love lessons. What wounds are we still carrying around in our relationships, recycling? What dynamics do we keep bringing forward from a wounded self that needs to be looked at and loved back into the light? Right? It's not about necessarily letting things go. It's about letting the love in, and the love will automatically purify and wash it away for you. So it's that concept. You know, what is happening in what kinds of conflicts or arguments or dissatisfaction is bubbling up in my love dynamics right now? Let me look a little bit deeper into myself of how maybe I am contributing to this dynamic. Or another really big one, the worthiness thing. Where do I find myself thinking something happens in my love partnership and I end up feeling or thinking or telling myself that I'm not good enough, The not good enough one is directly linked to self-worth and what I'm worthy of having and what I deserve to have, and my needs being met in order to feel worthy. What are the needs I need to look at and take more responsibility for? My emotional needs, so that I don't keep falling into this cycle or dynamic of feeling not good enough. Because when we're in the space of not good enough, the danger there is to then act in a way where we feel like we have to prove ourselves worthy of receiving the love or receiving whatever it is, the thing that we want to come back towards us. And when we are in a space of looking outside of ourselves and looking to prove ourselves worthy in order to receive the thing, we've now stepped into a codependent space. And clearly, that is not where we want to be. If you're listening to me on this channel, you're getting away from codependency, not getting deeper into it, right? That is the goal. So if I'm in a space of having to prove myself worthy, I'm not going to be looking at myself and my needs to move myself into a space of worthiness and knowing that I am worthy and I don't need to do or prove anything to anyone. I simply am already worthy. So therefore, it's not about being not good enough. I already am good enough because I know I'm worthy, and I can rest and relax and receive deeply feminine energies. I feel like I've been doing a lot of videos this week. If you're new here or this is your first video that you've watched of mine, I would really recommend going back and looking at some of the videos I did this week, particularly the one I did on Friday, Feminine Friday, talking about limitlessness, and also the video I did on personality tiptoeing into the realm of limitlessness and identity as well. Because identity clearly has a huge piece to do with self-worth. If I take on an identity of high self-worth, I'm not going to be proving myself, and I will be in a space of limitlessness and relaxation in the current space that I'm already in, because I know I'm inherently worthy already and don't need to do or prove anything to anyone. That was a mouthful. So we're going to be in this space of the energy of Venus in retrograde throughout the rest of this year. So you will have plenty of time to observe, right? And that's always the key. How can I sit back and observe when I'm struggling, when I'm maybe in an internal conflict or external conflict, when I'm in a space of feeling down about myself? What am I telling myself? When do I feel like I'm not good enough? And digging a little deeper into why I'm feeling that way. What's happened in my life? Why do I keep participating in these cycles of not feeling good enough? What do I need to do? What need of mine do I need to meet to move myself out of this dynamic of not feeling good enough and proving myself and abandoning myself? Like, that's the thing. You're abandoning yourself in the process of proving yourself worthy to someone else of their love. What's happening there? And where's the emotional availability or lack thereof on both sides of the equation? Where is maybe emotional unavailability there, or where is emotional unavailability here? Because the deeper and deeper I go down the path of emotional availability, it is limitless, and it is a hole that like seems to have no end. The more and more I desire more emotional intimacy in my relationships and partnerships, and I desire more emotional availability, the more and more I see how I need to become more and more emotionally available to myself, and then I'm able to be more available to others. And a lot of that goes back to the anxiety, all right? I talk about that till I'm blue in the face here. Anxiety. It is a beast, and it's everywhere in every aspect, in every nook and cranny of our lives. It's really, really crazy. So anyway, that is the Venus in retrograde. The other thing I want to touch on briefly, and I probably will expand on this next Saturday, is the Lionsgate 8-8 portal. 8-8 portal, again, this is probably why I've been tapping so much into the limitlessness, because again, if you take the number 8 and you turn it on its side, it is the infinity symbol. Infinity. 8-8 portal is, again, focusing on these love, the infinite love, the love that continues throughout lifetimes, the soulmate connections, the past life karma, past life dynamics that you're still carrying forward into this lifetime. What needs to shift? What are my needs that I'm still denying myself, that I keep finding myself dissatisfied in this dynamic of this relationship, this dynamic that I know to my core is a soul level connection. And maybe we get stuck in these cycles and we can't seem to spin ourselves out of these cycles. This is the portal to start really radically shifting this. It may be a portal that feels really uncomfortable because a lot of truths will be revealed. That seems to be the theme here. On the Lionsgate 8-8 portal, truths will be revealed and you cannot unsee what you see. You will have this stark awareness of how far you have come, what lessons you have learned, and how solidly you must anchor in and ground into what you have learned and who you are now, what you're carrying forward with you in your relationships, what is acceptable, what is unacceptable, and keep moving forward. Not settling for less than what you deserve, knowing what your needs are, asking for your needs to be met. And if there cannot be common ground here, having the boldness and the courage to ultimately walk away. Again, that feels like another mouthful. Lionsgate portal is one of my favorites. It is incredibly intense and powerful and potent. And combined with Venus in retrograde, it's like the two working together are an extra oomph on all of our love connections and partnerships, particularly ones that are at a soul level. And as we know, these soul level lessons and these soul level contracts and partnerships can feel really painful, really confusing, and really challenging. But we also know that in the pain and the confusion and the challenge, that is the potential for radical breakthrough, empowerment, expansion, and higher self, which in the higher self, clearly that is where emotional fulfillment and satisfaction truly lies, because that is where our heart and our soul is trying to carry us and lead us and direct us. I hope this video helped. If you found value, please do subscribe, leave me a comment to show your support and help me get my message out to other people. These are really powerful energies. So as I always say, when in doubt, move slowly, slow down, observe, take your time, write things out, be honest with what you're telling yourself or how you're perceiving a situation. See how you can shift it into a space of love and openness, limitlessness, to move it in the direction of where you truly want it to go. How can I empower more of that? What can I close out to empower more of what I do want? How can I clear things away to create space for what I do want? How can I release myself from limits around identity or limiting beliefs that have held me back from being worthy, feeling worthy, receiving the things that I truly am worthy of at a soul level? Thank you so much for being here. I am sending so much love to you all. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.